So this is a reminder of the notes that we took on inequalities. The golden rule of inequalities is basically when you're solving inequalities, you do the same steps as solving equations, unless you multiply or divide by a negative. If when you're solving you have to multiply by a negative or divide by a negative, then you have to flip the inequality to make the statement true. So as we go through the problems today, remember, you're going to do the same thing as solving equations. You're going to undo whatever operation's being done. You're going to do the inverse. But if you ever have to multiply by a negative, you're going to flip the inequality. If you're going to have to divide by a negative, you flip the inequality. Otherwise, you keep it the same. So today I would like to do just a couple of examples throughout the formative with you and then let you get started. So number 1 says negative 2x is less than 8. So I have to first look at what's happening. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line to separate my two sides. What's happening between the negative 2 and the x? Well, when there's no symbol, it's multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication is to divide. So I need to divide both sides by negative 2. And when I do that, negative 2 divided by negative 2 becomes 1x. And 8 divided by negative 2 becomes negative 4. And then did I do the golden rule? Did I multiply or divide by a negative? Yes, I did, right? This is a big aha. I'm going to write golden rule. Since I divided by a negative, then I need to flip the inequality to make it true. So it started as a less than, but it's ending as a greater than because I divided by a negative. So we did that first step. We solved. We have an answer. Is it in order? Is x first? X is greater than negative 4? Yes. So then I just need to put it on a number line. And then circle my solution. So my solution was negative 4, and this one should be an open circle because it's not equal to negative 4, it's greater than negative 4. So I'm going to circle negative 4 as a boundary, and I'm going to highlight the part of the number line that is greater than negative 4. And a little trick to help you with that is when you write it in order with the variable first, you would draw the arrow whatever way the inequality is pointing. So if the inequality is pointing to the right, you're going to draw the arrow to the right because that's where the numbers are greater than. All right, so then number 2 is similar, but it's a two-step equation. So I'm going to draw the line again. And I'm going to ask myself, oh, it's still a one-step, my bad. I'm going to ask myself, what's happening between the x and the 5? Well, looks like there's a minus sign there, so it must be subtraction. So how do I undo subtraction? You're right, I add. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And when I do that, negative 5 plus 5 becomes 0. And so that leaves me with just plain x on this side. And negative 10 plus 5 is negative 5. And then I have to ask myself, did I multiply or divide by a negative? Nope, I just added. So I'm going to leave the inequality the same. My answer is completed. So I solved. Now I need to graph it. So I'm going to draw a number line. Negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 7. Then I'm going to circle my solution, which was negative 5 here. And then it's negative 5 is less than or equal to. So whenever it's equal to, we get a closed circle. And then it is where it is less than. So notice that my symbol is pointing to the left. So I'm going to highlight to the left. Oh, sorry. I'm going to highlight to the left because that's where the numbers are less than negative 5. All right. So I'm going to skip to number 11. 11 is a two-step equation. So before I can multiply or divide, I need to get the constants on the same side. So I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to move it to the right-hand side so that I can get x by itself. So it's a plus 2. The opposite of adding 2 is to subtract 2 from both sides. When I do that, positive 2 minus 2 becomes 0, and I'm left with x divided by 3 is less than negative 6. So now I have my variable on the left and my constants on the right, but I have this fraction, which is really a division problem, x divided by 3. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3, which is really 3 over 1. Whatever I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. And when I do that multiplication, these 3's are going to end up cross-canceling and becoming 1, which leaves me with 1x equals negative 6 times 3 is negative 18. And I don't know if you noticed the mistake that I made there, but I said that it equals negative 18, but it's not an equation, it's an inequality, right? It's a less than sign. So my question is, I did multiply, but did I multiply by a negative? My answer was negative, but I really multiplied by positive 3, right? I multiplied by positive 3. So in my final answer, it's going to stay the same. It's going to stay a less than because I multiplied by a positive number, not a negative number. So now that I have my answer, it's negative 18. I'm going to put that on a number line. I'm going to circle my solution of 18, and then since it's less than and not equal to, I'm going to leave it as an open circle, and then I'm going to highlight on the number line where the numbers are less than negative 18, which is to the left, which also happens to be the same direction that the less than symbol is pointing. Okay, last one, I'm going to try to do it a little bit quickly. Is I've got negative 5x plus negative 2x. So this one wants me to combine like terms. They're both x's, and they're both negative. So when I have a negative 5 and a negative 2, I actually get a lower negative. A negative 7x is greater than or equal to 14. So once I've combined like terms, my x's are on the left, my constants are on the right. I just need to separate that negative 7 and that x. So they're being connected by multiplication, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 7. And when I do that, my 7's cancel and become 1x. And 14 divided by negative 7 is negative 2. And then I have to ask myself, did I multiply or divide by a negative? Yes, I did divide, and I divided by a negative 7, so I need to flip the inequality symbol. I'm going to write golden rule. Golden rule. I'm going to flip the inequality sign, and then I end with x is, look at that, I said I was going to flip it, but I wrote it in the same direction. X is less than or equal to negative 2. So that means that when I'm graphing my answer, I'm going to circle negative 2. I'm going to color in the circle because it's got an equal to symbol on it. And then I'm going to highlight to the left because in my answer, my inequality is saying where the numbers are less than negative 2. So I hope these examples help you with the formative today.